Welcome back and thank you very much indeed. This is TV3 New Day and welcome to the Big Issues segment brought to you by Nice Chocolate. Nice Chocolate is 100 Ghanaian. It's affordable, it's available, it's nutritious, it's healthy. It's good for every single member of the family and you can't get it wrong with Nice Chocolate. Go out there, get their drinks and their sachet and the chocolate spread and the Tetra Pak, and you will thank me later. Also, thank you very, very much indeed to Grant Park Clothing at Dansoman for putting stitches and fabric together to make this beautiful shada for me. Call them 020-985-5696. Again, 020-985-5696. They'll make you look special. I guarantee and I promise that. Now, the Ghanaian Times this morning says UNDP launches $1 million Black Volta afforestation project. And we didn't get Aisha One visa ambassador. That's Ghana's ambassador to China. We're not too sure if Aisha was repatriated or deported. And I have said that we can forgive His Excellency John Mahama for mixing the two, because he's not a lawyer. But the president is a lawyer, Mr. Kojo Nkrumah is a lawyer, and Mr. Abu Jinapo Samuel is a lawyer. They should be able to dichotomize between repatriation and deportation. If they have not been able to do that thus far, there's a problem somewhere. Well, terrorist attacks in Sahel, West Africa. 538 died, 127 injured in 159 assaults in 1 month. 3 killed, 32 injured in gas tankers bus collision at Fumesia. Also, the Ghanaian Observer is next. It says economic challenges. Akufo-Addo bemoans prejudice of international money market. Finance Minister predicts better days ahead. And Zumlaya makes Ghana proud at the RWM conference. Also, Mankasim Meda, chief pastor, confesses killing student nurse for money rituals. That's where we are now as a people. Party, government engagement, ministers storm NPP headquarters. The Daily Statesman is next. Justin Kudia Frimpong is the general secretary of the NPP. Is a warm handshake with the the sports minister, Mustafa Yusuf, into his office. Ghana card, best option to register voters according to the Electoral Commission. Dr. Sribo Kwaku is the Director of Electoral Services at the Electoral Commission. Experts praise, but CDD has questions about that. Experts praise the After Guided Trade Initiative. Also, African First Ladies to champion women empowerment agenda and party government synergy critical in 2024. NPP General Secretary. The Daily Guide says we killed student nurse for money ritual. That's a pastor or a supposed pastor and a supposed chief. That's how I like to describe them. NDC's mosquito to sting Ofosu Ampofo. And Ghana calls for partnership to combat maritime crime. And ex-President Kufuor has been honored again. Chinese woman denies stealing shares. Okay. Daily Graphic. Over 1,000 childhood cancers diagnosed in Ghana annually. And I'm happy to mention that it's now on our NHIS. Congrats to Dr. Okuboy and the team at the NHIA for making sure that this became a reality. We've been talking about it. Cocoa freight charges up 5% for all destinations but UK state. Child trafficking syndicate busted, 16 minors rescued. Also, special supplemental pharmaceutical and healthcare center. And read all about Andrea Yu's views on Qatar 2022 in tomorrow's Daily Graphic Weekend Special Edition. The BNFT, government 13 banks signed 10 billion Ghana cedis deal for U-Start program. It's yet to start, really. Slam Foundation launches Nimdie app to improve digital inclusiveness, and app teaches IT skills in local languages. GEPA targets $2.8 billion annually from coconut exports as Coconut Festival highlights need for investment in the crop. And I say GEPA in 2018, I hosted an event at La Palme. They spoke about this same figure, same stuff in the Planting for Export and Rural Development Program. 2018, 19, 20, 2021, 2022, we are still talking the same issue. We like history and Pasco too much. US $2 billion in trade, others on the line. analyst remittances FDI to be hit hard. Galamsey puts Proud River in a sorry state. And finally, the Finder newspaper. And we may shut down Tamale plant over excess water from the Barry Dam spillage. Ghana Water Company Limited, that's Engineer Dr. Clifford Brimer there, he's the MD. Also, education system not producing critical thinkers, assertive curriculum that empowers the child to ask questions and challenge the status quo needed. Dr. Educhum, who's as a former Deputy Minister for Education, now a substantive minister, and under his watch, the children don't have textbooks for more than 3 years, and teachers themselves have been shut down from being, assertive, because they talk about their issues. They are either transferred. There's an overage Deputy Director General of Education at the office who's still there. He's one of the traumatizers, I'm told. So, yes, if you want the children to be assertive, give space for the teachers to be assertive, sir. Walk the talk. Mankasim murder case, suspect confesses to ritual killing. My guest this morning, Richard Kumado. He is a fraud and security consultant. Joining him this morning is Comrade Murtala Mohammed. He doesn't like the honorable tag. He's a former Deputy Trade Minister. He's also the MP for Tamale Central. And George AEC. He is the National Communications Director of the National Disaster Management Organization. Gentlemen, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Trust you're fine. Richard, how are you doing?
I'm good.
You're good?
Thank you.
Great. Elijah?
Alhamdulillah, we can't complain.
That's good. George?
Yeah.
You're fine.
That's good. Good.
Well, he's perfect.
Your bites, and I'm happy you praised Dr. Okubo.
Yeah, I praise when I have to praise.
Yes, that's good.
He's a fine gentleman.
And I think we'll praise our
Lejo
General Secretary as well for the strides he's making to bridge whatever gap, if there's any, between government and party. Is a very good.
I thought that under John Boydu, the president was supposed to be working from the party office at least once every 2 weeks. You remember that?
He did the first one, and then the pressure of the work and all that. You get it. So it's a good.
Over his dealings at NYP, your people are after him.
It's true. Allow him to do his work.
No, that's a fact.
He just got him.
It's a continuation. Whatever JB did, JFK is continuing to ensure that our party is attractive to the Ghanaian voter, and we are very positive and optimistic and upbeat that it will yield positive dividends.
I see. Let me get on this before we get on to our PRT and other issues. Richard, your thoughts. The Bank of Ghana and the police have been on the onslaught, the black market particularly. They're going after them. I don't know. You've worked in the bank before, in the financial sector. What do you think? Think this will show up the strength of the city?
Money is a commodity, and just like any basic economics, when it comes to goods and services, is basic run on demand and supply. And Bank of Ghana is the custodian of many of the monies we have in Ghana, particularly the dollar that has been in limited supply. They might end up going after the black market people, but what are the core issues, and would that really solve the problem? And so that's why people have issues with them when they are going after the people in the black market. Who are the beneficiaries of these monies? What do they use it for? And can't they have any other alternative? Those are the issues we can look at. And my work with the FIC and being with the Compliance Association of this country, training on financial crime all over the world, I think there are many things we can do far better than what we have been done now.
Let's see, what else is there to do?
When you go to Nigeria, you see in Ghana, they don't even allow our hotels to have some of these guys changing money.
Right.
They prefer us to use the Forest Bureau.
That's right.
But if you go to Nigeria, most of their hotels have people in there that when you need money, they can comfortably change it for you. I think we have genuine reasons why we have limited number of dollars in the system. And Bank of Ghana should work very hard to address those situations.
Let's see. Comrade.
Well, good morning. Good morning to my good friend, and good morning to my brother, and of course your viewing public.
Thank you.
If you permit me, there's an issue that is so nagging to me, and I think that if you can give me a minute to comment about it. I was shocked when I got the information last week, how much is paid to our professors who have retired and who are now helping the state on contract. I was shocked.
You are not learning that.
Yes, I was shocked.
That was why I was livid about the UTAG strike.
Yes, I was very shocked. I'm told they take the entire year, 7,000 Ghana cedis. So, I mean, even if you want to divide 7,000 by 12, it means that they take less than 1,000 Ghana cedis a month. Look, I can tell you, if you come to Legon, particularly those doing PhDs, a lot of the lecturers whose expertise are desperately needed by the university, and for which reason they have retired and the university has engaged them on contract basis. These professors, without them, pursuing certain courses would have been extremely difficult, particularly supervising PhD students. And these are professors, and you give them 7,000 Ghana cedis a year. I think it's just completely unacceptable. Frankly, when I got the information, and I got it from a very reliable source, I was shocked. I mean, it's just unacceptable. If we want to create, and the Minister for Education, if he's listening, if he's saying that we should train students who should be assertive, you need an assertive mind, a very stable mind, to be able to impact that assertiveness in the students you want to tutelage.
That is absent.
Now, so if you have a university lecturer, of course, they have retired, but their expertise are desperately needed. And it is not only in Ghana, globally, that you look for such well-experienced lecturers, not only for PhD students. I believe that for other master's programs who are supervising those who are doing researches, and then you give them 7,000 cedis a year, it is just unacceptable. And I think that the Minister for Education and government should do something about it. And one thing I can tell those lecturers, the NDC will fix this under President Mahama in 2025.
It's a policy issue.
Yes, it's something the NDC has demonstrated that. I mean, in terms of what we have invested in education, the human resource investment infrastructure is a match, apart from perhaps Nkrumah, even though they claim that they have done more even than Nkrumah. But I'm saying that it's completely unacceptable, to be very honest with you. And I was particularly and personally hurt when I heard this information. So if the Minister for Education and the political elite who have been given the mandate to govern, then they should. It's better than paying about 10,000 Ghana cedis or more to young people who are given just laptops to go after people who criticize government at the Flagstaff House. These are people we need to be given attention to. Now, in the matter of what my friend is...
I'm happy you just joined the boat, because when I started this the UTAG fight, I remember I compared it with the situation in Belarus.
Yes.
Our GDP is supposed to be better than that of Belarus.
Yeah.
But even at Belarus, an MPhil, what do you call it, holder.
Yeah.
And that's the same situation here. You get in, that's your entry point. Yeah. And you're given a contract about 5 or 6 years, within which you must get a PhD on your own. Yeah. And PhD, you must publish, it must be peer reviewed, and all of those things. Yeah. And you must be teaching. Because you can't be teaching if you are not researching. Yeah. Because if you teach too much and you are not researching, you'll be sacked. Yeah. And the lecturers are on their own. Yeah. And their students come, finish, and earn better than them. Yeah. That was why I was angry. Yeah. But some people said I was being,
Someone mocked we teachers. Paul did that on his program, mocked teachers. He mocked He mocked me because I am a trained teacher, and by extension mocking teachers and mocking even university lecturers. I mean, that is the mindset of the Ghanaian people. Because if you have journalists such as his caliber who would do that, what do you expect? Look,
okay.
Let me make my point.
I disassociate myself from these people.
I'm sitting closer to you. Who is like...
Let's talk about the currency. I disassociate myself from
President said that
your wealth of knowledge.
I have not heard this one.
You don't agree when you realize you had
I have not heard this.
I'm making the statement just to contextualize it, that teachers ought to be given the needed respect. And to be very honest with you, you see, in this country, nurses, doctors can go on strike, and the state will be worried. Yeah. Teachers go on strike. Who cares? And I think that we need to give some attention to that. And to be very honest, and I'm not saying this with any political intention in mind, I was personally hurt when I heard about how much
you need to see how primary school
because I know the kind of, in fact, I use my department, the kind of lecturers, the wealth of knowledge, the kind of things. I mean, look, I have been to several schools. I have worked in government. Of course, I had the privileged opportunities by Allah's will to be a member of parliament and a member of the executive. And I can tell you, you sit before some of these professors, and you think that, look, you knew nothing. I mean, what they would have impacted on you. And only for you to be told that they are given 7,000 Ghana cedis a year because they are on contract is completely unacceptable. So invariably, they are just helping.
Yeah.
They are not doing that for money, because even those, virtually most of them drive. How much will they even use to buy fuel? Yet they come to school
it's a
every day. I
campaign
think it's
I'll
worrying.
take on again. And you need to see how primary school teachers were treated when they were training for the new curriculum. Their food was wrapped in plastic bag. They sat on the same decks their students sit on. And I did this in 2018.
Yeah.
The situation has not, the kind of lack of respect and disrespect we give to them. And you see, that's why I have an issue with the minister saying people have to be assertive. Because every headmaster that talks, you remember the food shortage? When you talk,
they're dealt with.
You are dealt with. And there's a hatchet man
And the
for the
dealing will
education
come from
minister,
the minister.
who's asked for, no, there's a hatchet man.
But under
Deputy
supervision.
Director General, who's given a contract extension. The teachers say he's the hatchet man for the minister. So if the minister wants the teachers to be assertive and the students to be assertive, he needs to give them space to talk. What happened to Teacher Kojo? He started talking about the ills of the system. What happened to him? He was shown the exit. So the minister should keep quiet. If he had been in a school in California or wherever his school is and where his children's school outside, they are assertive. He should bring that system here. 3 years or more under his supervision without textbooks, and teachers are being forced to prepare lesson notes with an absent textbook. How do you expect them to be assertive? He should keep quiet.
Yet they are not even paid.
He should keep quiet.
They are not even paid well. But let me, in the matter of the dollar and also the directives, if you like, or the action taken by the Bank of Ghana and the police, I mean, I think that it is the Bank of Ghana and the Ghana police. Sometimes they behave like a spoiled child. And I say so because it is not about what you do in. The spoiled child blames everybody for his or her woes except himself or herself. And that is the way the Bank of Ghana behaves. Look, you cannot find a solution to this except that you take certain drastic and dramatic policy decision and stance. At the Ministry of Trade, and I will speak for a ministry that I worked with and I had the experience.
Briefly.
We were spending about 450 to $500 million importing rice and poultry products into this country. The policy interventions that the NDC government put in place to extend that in 2014, there was a surge in the production of local rice by 60%. And there was a reduction in the importation of foreign rice into this country by 40%. So there was a direct correlation between the actions taken and the results that we achieved. Now, today, this state is spending over $2 billion in the importation of rice and pharmaceutical products in this country. In fact, in 2018, the former Deputy Minister for Trade and Industry, Honorable Ahonka Lenzi, in meeting the Taiwanese businessmen, boasted that we are spending over $1 billion importing rice into this country, and over 60% of such importations come from Taiwan. And within that time to now, we are spending over $2 billion. Now, it is a simple law of demand and supply. Look, I don't need to be an economist to appreciate this. So what it therefore means is that anytime we want to bring in this rice, we have to mob around to get the few dollars in circulation for the purposes of bringing this rice and poultry products into this country every year. So could you imagine taking $2 billion, even if it is $1 billion, out of your economy for the purposes of importing rice? When you have a policy decision that was implemented to stem this, we banned the importation of rice by small rice importers into this country. And Johnny, let me state this. It was Honorable Haruna Idrisu who put that ban, supported by the Trade Committee in Parliament. It started yielding results, for which reason there was this reduction in the importation of rice and a surge in the production of local rice. I remember when I was moved to the Ministry of Trade, before Dr. Spio Gabra was vetted, the local small rice importers petitioned the Ministry of Trade. And then the big rice, when they petitioned, Now, Dr. Spielgabra was one. Then the doctor then gave me the responsibility to sit to see how we could find a solution to it. I had audience with them, and if they are listening, before the meeting, I told them, I said, if any of you attempt to bribe me, I will expose you. I told them. That was what I said, and they can testify to that. After that, the big rice importers also came. I told them the same thing, because that is their modus operandi. That's why they think that every politician, there is a price tag on you. And the directors at the ministry, whom they have even said, they were all there when I publicly made that statement. I constituted a team, of course, sanctioned by my boss then. And it was Kofi Kapito, who was the leader of the consumers. He was the one I asked, and you can call him, to lead that team, including journalists from several media houses. And Kofi Kapito, and I deliberately did that because he's a known MPP person. And he was the leader of the Consumers Protection Association in Ghana, agency. When they did their fact finding, they went to all the bodies. And the report they submitted pointed to the need for us to maintain that particular ban, which we did. We maintained the ban. And for which reason the success story I'm talking about, what we achieved, and the fact that we're able to stem the tide of how much we're spending in importation of these products into this country was maintained or virtually reduced. Today, this government came, they didn't announce, they lifted that ban. Now, people are bringing in this rice, they don't even pay taxes. Because it was part of the reports which was submitted. There are a lot of them don't pay taxes. A lot of corruption at the borders, particularly our borders around borders with Ivory Coast and others. And that explains. So if you are crying like a spoiled child, that yes, the city is losing its value. Look, ensure that you reduce the importation of rice and poultry products into this country, and I can bet my last penny, the city would indeed re-emerge from the doldrums. Let me make this last point. We have been told that this government is 1D, 1F, and they are touting it. Do you know what they are denying the state?
No.
There's a story they are not telling people. If you have an existing company that agrees to be uploaded on the 1D, 1F just to satisfy the uncontrollable ego of our political elite, now you are given a waiver, a tax waiver for 5 years. A lot of the companies who were existing, and the condition is that once you are put on the 1D, 1F, and the tax waiver is given to you, you should provide proof of jobs you have created.
Right.
Now, these companies, they agreed to come on, some of them foreign companies, honestly, they agreed to come on 1D, 1F. They are given tax waivers. They are not even recruiting. Because if they were recruiting, how come that they claim they have indeed provided over 150 factories, yet unemployment rate in this country is increasing? It simply doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Because industrialization should occasion an expansion of the economy. And once the economy is expanded, jobs will be created. You are industrializing through 1D, 1F. Yes, unemployment rate is increasing. So the point is that they come on that, deny the state of the needed revenue because they are no longer paying the import duties, yet they are not recruiting. So revenue mobilization is a challenge now as a result of a reckless policy intervention of government. Policy that would have been good.
Okay.
And two, the jobs are not created. So you see, if you sum all of those things, tackle the importation of rice alone into this country, rice and poultry products, and I can bet my last penny that there will be some re-emergence of the value of the city because it's a simple law of demand and supply.
George, I saw Kwabena Minta Kando's rice.
Absolutely.
I tasted it. And then I asked myself, so what is this appetite about foreign rice? Because when I ate the rice, it didn't feel like... I said, so I asked him, how long have you produced this? Then he said, I've been producing this for a long time. I said, then he started mentioning names of people who produce rice.
I don't go produce.
Even in Parliament.
The former Minister for Interior, the former Minister for Wayongo, Honorable Mohamed Mumuni, and they produce rice in huge quantities. Huge quantities.
So then he started mentioning names.
Honorable Tanko, our former MP for Yaba, he has over 10,000 acres of rice.
Across the divide.
And produces
then
every
I
year.
asked myself, but if our people, even our lawmakers, are producing such quantum of rice, maize, millet, sorghum, soya, and we complain about feeding our poultry, we complain about this, we complain about everything, then we have a problem. Our CD could be stronger, but for some strange reason, we weaken it and come to complain that it is weak. Now we are chasing black market people. Are we looking the right direction, or should we be giving these local farmers incentives and putting in policies that will support them really for them to be able to? Because if you look at the Planting for Food and Job mix, they seem to be missing from it.
Yeah, thank you, Johnny. Good morning to you. Good morning to my colleagues. And good morning to our viewers. Before I tackle the Forex issue with the BOG, Honorable Murtala touched on Comrade. Comrade Murtala, I'm not a comrade, I'm a patriot. So, you know?
We're all patriots.
So, you know, he touched on the issue of the professors on extension after retirement. They are very invaluable in academia, in the university settings. And he's right that they are the ones who supervise PhDs a lot, and some will then feel additional responsibilities and co. So they are very, very much needed. 7,000, it's worrying. I don't know whether that is the internally generated support for them, or that is the official amount that government pays them. Yes. So we need to look at
the letter from GTEC that I read yesterday says if they are on contract, they don't draw certain allowances like people who are serving. So that's what it is here.
But even that, 7,000 is woefully inadequate for their category. Maybe they are factoring the possibility that they'll be engaged in consultancy alongside and co. They are involved in research, and a lot of researchers sometimes draws some money. You know,
583 Ghana cedis.
So allow him to develop his point.
So these are issues that we need to look at as a people. But the political twist or angle he added to it, I thought, why the person isn't today that we are hearing of such minimal payments to contract professors or lecturers. What did they do when they were there? Or they didn't avail their minds to that. And now the same person who was there and didn't bother about it, now you're telling me is the Messiah who is going to do that. It's something. It's something. No. You're doing politics. I'm a politician sitting here, so I need to respond appropriately to that. And I thought it was below. He's brought a very important, fantastic issue, but concluding, it's not believable. It's not believable.
And I'm saying I will fix it.
They've changed their mind. It's good you've learned something, and we'll make progress. And the second aspect on these forex thing is I thought we are to have an uncontrolled market, a free market economy. We of the MPP stopped believing the free market economy after we're subscribing to, and he's been in the trade ministry and he knows the relevance and importance of AFTA to...
AFTA has a lot of problems too.
You get it. Oh, no, I like the interjection. It's okay. You get it. So these are issues that we need to look at. And I was surprised. In fact, when I saw the headline yesterday and that Bank of Ghana and police are arrested, I said, what? Look, the two of them have touched on that. Where is the dollar? Who is the custodian of the dollar?
It has broken jail. It's a fugitive now.
Please, the custodian.
This question should be asked to Dr. Bowman, not us.
Don't worry. I'm saying that the Bank of Ghana has that. Okay? So the black marketeers, where do they draw their souls? They get it. Because I tell you, get to airport, get to them. You need $100,000. They will tell you, wait for 30 minutes.
They'll bring it to you.
They'll bring it to you. They will bring it to you. Where do they go?
Meanwhile, you have a threshold at the banks.
You get it. So it's something that I think the governor is doing very well, but he has to look at that. Okay, as governor of the Bank of Ghana, he's doing very well. You get it. But he needs to look at that inwardly. How are we getting these dollars going out? Okay, besides the structural issues that Honorable touched on, you know, which we are dealing
Guta
with.
says there are people at the Bank of Ghana and in the commercial banks that help these
No,
black marketers.
no, what I just said alludes to that. Alludes to that. There's leakage from within. You get it? And it's people's business, okay, from within the Bank of Ghana and the banking sector who are partnering with these people and making windfall profits.
So is this the solution, going after the black marketers?
No, I don't know. No, I don't think that is the solution. We need to find a proper solution to this. Going after them, you go here, they will be there. You move there, you know. You said Ajada too. Go. We cannot do that. But the last aspect on this matter, I think we need to find a proper solution to that. Monetary policy decisions, okay, that can, you know, get that. But government is taking steps in restructuring the economy. The 1D1F and a lot of things being produced here. I was happy when he said he himself and some MPs, as you said, are involved in farming, you know, rice production. Our taste for local consumption must be up. It's important. Now, the last one on there. Yes, I will.
The rice you guys distribute when there is disaster, some of them are foreign.
Yes, some are local.
So
you
some
know.
are
In fact, some of the
why should
purchases
some
are
be
even done locally.
So why should
within
some
the
be foreign?
catchment
Why
area.
should some be foreign?
No, you see, the argument has been, look, I was coming to that. I will
Right,
answer
go
that.
to it, yeah.
The benchmark issues. When value issues, okay? When we did that, the Guta people and others were angry, were up in arms and co. Then we said, okay, we are trying to protect the local industry by bringing that. And the argument was that the local producers cannot meet the market demand at any time T.
Have you tried
Listen,
that?
No, I'm coming.
You know, TV3 had gone on that Fumbisi area and all to do
I've just told you, our MP, former MP
to do what you call the rice glut report.
Yes,
that got the likes of Samens talking.
No,
about
we saw the rice glut. Yes,
and then the president of the republic. I remember this. I always say.
Yeah.
He met us on the 20th of December, 2019 at the Jubilee House.
Okay.
Even though we were not allowed to ask questions, all of us from Media General. And Kojo came to our table.
You were not allowed?
Yes, we were not allowed. 5 of us, myself, Brighton, Fo.
You were invited and not allowed to.
You
catch the eye of the moderator.
I was seated in front of the camera with the president, like that.
It doesn't mean you catch the eye of the moderator. He's an MP. He knows he gets up and doesn't catch the eye of the speaker.
If I am 1 meter away from where the president is speaking and my hand is up.
But the president is not a moderator.
Roland Afelmoni is here.
Kwesi Pratt is on the other side.
Kwesi Pratt is here. And we couldn't catch the eye of the president.
Kwesi caught the eye. Not the president. The moderator. No, the moderator. It wasn't the president who was caught.
Let me ask my question.
Now, the benchmark issue.
Yes. The president said, I remember that day, that going forward, all refreshment funded with state money must be local rice.
Good.
Question is, since 2019, have we stuck to this simple policy announcement by the president?
Not more. Ask him.
It's possible, but unless, of course, you tell me that your survey or your research proves otherwise, because I don't have any evidence to say it's otherwise. Okay, so if government functions are going on and rice is served, have you looked at it? What is it? Is it local?
Money, government money.
So you get it. Those are issues that you need to look at. You get it.
But
So no. We get our supplies. You know, sometimes you need to get there. You put it, market people come to bid for it. They get it. They bring supplies, local plus foreign mix. You know, I wouldn't sit here and say there's no foreign. No, I don't. But I know there are local ones and there are foreign ones in there. But I don't see how what we at NADMO do, answers the president's policy on state functions using
But the state
local,
money is local.
right,
Is our money
you
which
get
is
it.
being
No,
used.
that's why I said if you cannot meet the demand, that's another problem. Okay, that's why the argument the Guta people made was that if you keep the benchmark values and others, and the local people cannot meet the demand, we will definitely go out and bring
but
it.
George,
And it's going to make it more expensive to the consumer.
But George,
that was part of the arguments they made.
But George,
and government listened ultimately.
But did you
get
know?
it?
You do know
Yes.
that there have also been conversations about the fact that these rice importers, chicken importers, oil importers, and sugar importers are the major financiers of the political parties.
Of course. Across divide.
So then
no,
when
you see,
they back,
let me tell you
when
something.
when they cough, the government catches a cold.
Why did you leave Japan?
No, you see, it's a possibility that they are, I've made the argument, and that's from the BOS people and co. BOS has plans to have pipelines across to Bupe and others, okay? But there are difficulties because those who are involved in transporting, and as I said, we cannot shy away from the fact that most of these are bankrollers of our political parties.
No, it's your
you
party.
get it? No,
No,
of our
your
political
party.
party.
You are
Because when
beating
you are
and
in
not
power,
beating.
you never put an end to it. You get it?
There was
So
a ban.
let's get it. Commander Sugar Factory, you started very well. What happened? You get it?
want
What
us to go
happened?
there?
It's very important.
you want us to
Fortunately,
go there?
this government is making strides
What have we
to
done
make
there?
sure it's back on stream.
allow, please.
Okay? So these are issues that we look at. And we have taken a policy decision, radical steps taken, getting local industries, okay, to tackle these ones. The poultry sector. Government released money to some poultry farmers to, reboost their this things. And he said there's a policy in place. Let's say Kasape Preco, okay, that is 1D1F. Then some make the argument Kasapreco was being in existence before somebody was born. True. But Kasapreco didn't have a branch at Kasape, okay? Closer to the local, the raw materials for their business and co. Then they say, let me take advantage of the 1D1F to open, to get a branch at Kasape. Okay?
But what he's saying,
You
get
get my analogy. You get it.
So
and so when a branch is open there and people get jobs there, you say it's the same Kasape.
so he says
there are major branches there, but the Kasape branch has taken advantage of the 1D1F policy.
So for example,
what's the big deal about that?
They get 5 years tax holiday.
Good.
They are supposed
For
to
the
be,
Kasape
they're supposed to
branch.
be employing, adding on to their numbers.
Yes.
But they don't.
No. So has he given us evidence that
can I give
the
an
staff at the headquarters of
I give you an
Kasapreco,
example?
where the people posted to Kasape branch, if there's a branch at
give you an example?
Kasape, you get it.
Before
It's not
before-
fair.
listen,
Okay.
Before Parliament.
Yes.
You remember they came asking for waiver.
Right.
For two companies. Over $11 million. Some of us opposed, and I remember myself and my uncle, Honorable Yusuf, we opposed that waiver. And the position we took was that if you are giving them the waiver, $11 million, over two companies, you are giving them, and these are foreign companies, you are giving them these waivers, we need to see a document of the jobs they are supposed to be creating, because that determines, in fact, it's part of the policy
business
content.
plan. Yeah.
No, the policy content of this
Right.
1D1F.
Yeah, right.
What I'm saying is that if you are arguing with me, now how come that with all the factories you claim you have created as a result of 1D1F, unemployment is skyrocketing?
I can tell you.
And if you have forgotten, you took unemployment from NDC at 6.8.
Let's be fair to Richard.
Unemployment today, no, I mean, let me just tell him.
I didn't
You took
finish and you asked him
unemployment
to
from
come in.
NDC
Anyway,
at 6.8. The census,
I thought he was doing interjection.
the census,
and he's
the
taking
census,
it.
the census page unemployment at 17.4. I'm not an economist, but it simply wouldn't make sense to my 2-year-old daughter that you will be creating a lot of industries, supposedly expanding the economy, yet jobs are not being created.
he said
It
he
doesn't
can
make
explain.
sense.
Let him explain. You said you can explain.
GDP figures buttress the point that the economy had expanded.
So how come the unemployment
it's true.
is
So
allowed him?
if you
Right.
move GDP from around
These are
52,
cool figures.
54 billion to about 74 billion, the economy is expanding.
But so
And
why
two,
is
let me tell you,
unemployment
yes,
rising
yes.
up? You
Look,
said you can explain.
yes. Look, hitherto, the mining sector and all others were solid and doing their work. when we decided we're going to crash the Galamsey and Co. You know what is happening in that sector?
That decided to do.
No, the president
then you
decided.
tagged along.
The president
Galamsey is
decided
west
to
No.
today.
The president
The
decided
fight
to
was
take
by
it.
the media. As
No
for that,
problem, but the
you will not
president
take away
committed.
our right
But Galamsey is
No, listen. The president
Allow him,
is
please.
committed to the fight,
Yes.
and he's been
He
committed for
joined
the
the
past
fight
fight.
that we win.
Whether, but he provided the leadership. Okay, you
The
could have
water
been
bodies are not
running in.
destroyed.
Look,
Allow him,
honorable, that fine former minister, my good friend,
Inusa Fuseni.
Inusa Fuseni, virtually threw his hand in the air.
Where?
Okay,
Where?
after when he started strongly
Where did
fighting
he throw his hand?
Galamsey, he got to a point he had to
That is not true.
relax.
So you say
get
the
it?
fight against Galamsey is what has created our
So a
unemployment.
lot of people.
Allow me, please. Allow me,
Hitherto,
please.
who
You say
hitherto?
you say the
Listen,
fight against Galamsey
it's
is what
bad.
has
The
brought
banking
about.
sector reform is also hit hard.
Now who
Okay?
caused that?
No. We needed to, streamline the banking sector. Otherwise, it's going to collapse like a pack of cats.
Did it make-
okay?
did
So
that-
we needed to, and it affected some people. You cannot run away
does it
from
make
that.
sense to
okay?
you that
so,
you had a
all
target?
other things that this government, the industries we are creating, they are employing, even if 2, 5 people, they are employing people. These are facts. You cannot take planting for food and jobs, got some people going into that sector. Okay? So gradually, this government is tackling the issues of unemployment. And we are, we brought NAPCO temporarily, okay, to get people get skills to transition to other places. It solved the Unemployed Graduates Association's problem temporarily. Okay, and so and as of if you talk to Dr. Anyas, I understand about 33,000 of those people transition into permanent
doesn't
jobs.
even know the
okay,
figures.
into
Be careful not to
permanent
incur
jobs.
the wrath of young people in this
No.
country.
But it's on record. 100,000 started. By the time we finished, about 67,000 were still on. And we were, in our 2020 manifesto, we were intending to roll them on some digital program, about 50,000 of those people. But unfortunately, we're having difficulty. But it doesn't mean we are shelving that objective or ambition.
So what's happening to them now? Because the unemployment figures are going up.
Yes.
Are you aware?
Of course. I'm aware, and we are putting measures in place. These districts that, 1D1F, it's recruiting people. Okay? It's recruiting. If it takes 5 and co, those people wouldn't be unemployed tomorrow. Okay? But there are other things and other areas that have also suffered. And we need to,
John
properly
Boydo at some
restructure
point
that and
as
move it
General
on.
Secretary
Yes.
while he was campaigning for 2020 election said, we will get to a point where we'll now have to import labor.
Yes.
How is it that even the internal people can't find jobs now with all the initiatives you have mentioned?
But we had challenges, when COVID struck. What happened in the hospitality industry? What happened? A lot of things happened.
Even before
okay, a lot of things happened. Let's be fair to the situation and the system. We are now trying to bring back all of these sectors into their stronger positions, so we continue
George,
rebuilding.
you have been paid. You have been
country.
paid
Right.
your July salary, right, and August salary. If I am supposed to be a NAPCO personnel,
Yes.
I've worked for 8 months. I have not been paid. I have only been assured that I might be paid. This your analogy of let's be fair to everybody. I'm hungry.
Yes.
My family is waiting for me. My children can't go to school. I can't pay my electricity. My light is off. Water is not.
NAPCO?
I can't pay. Yes, NAPCO.
Your family and all that?
Yes, but didn't you see them at the cinema? Should I put a picture up for you?
Look,
The grown-ups.
look,
They will not be happy
I don't
with
know.
you.
No, I don't know. No, I haven't sat here to say they've not been paid. In fact, some time ago I was here and I thought we need to deal fairly with them. Whatever the problem is, we need to resolve it. In fact, last time the finance minister said we were going to bring a closure to that and all of the arrears will be paid. As to when, I would rather it's expedited so that they get
But I'm
their
saying
money.
you have taken
Whatever
your
the
salary.
problem is, I have had occasion of doing national services, working for 3 months and not getting paid before. Huh?
Youth in afforestation.
Working, there's that situation, and that one we need to bring a closure to. When I started teaching, for about some time, I wasn't paid. You get it? Before I got onto the IPPD and co. So it's something that is not good for our system. Okay?
rotational
And I started teaching under Papa J.
Okay?
So it doesn't mean,
George,
it's wrong. Let's put
rotational
structures in
nurses
place
have done-
that the moment you roll into the employment,
George,
you know, everything
do
is
you
in
know
place.
rotational
That's what
nurses
we
have
need to
done
do.
1 full year of their national service without a dime?
We need to know what the reasons are. I don't have those details, and it's not proper. You get it? It's not proper not to pay
allow Richard now. It's
people
Richard's turn quickly.
not
Then
to
we'll
pay
go for a
people
break. We have to go for a break,
but
but
you get
no,
it.
it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
It's not
okay.
proper. Whether
Let's be fair
rotational or
to-
not,
let's be fair to
we
Richard.
need to pay them.
It's
We
okay.
need to
It's
pay
okay.
them. That's
It's
all.
okay.
Just
Richard.
one statement.
Allow cooperative.
Yeah, Johnny, he said that Honorable Yunus have seen it through his hands. in
Yes,
despair.
virtually. Yeah.
That is factually not correct. As a matter of fact, under him, over 5,000 Chinese were deported from this country, and over almost 200 other nationals. And
Deported or repatriated?
Deported.
These days, we need to be sure.
No, ours is not like this. Deported, and almost 200
And
other
did
nationals.
that stop the
And I
Galamsey?
remember when I was the Deputy Minister for Information, to the extent that the Chinese government was so incensed, they were so angry, they sent a delegation, and the leader of the delegation could be christened as a prime minister. I mean, that stature of the Communist Party. I had the privileged opportunity to have sat in the meeting at the Flagstaff House with blessed memory, His Excellency Emisata. And the man was so angry and talked about the decades-long diplomatic ties they have with Ghana. And what should Ghana do? You know what His Excellency Mr. Atta asked him to do?
No.
He ensured he joined the chopper. They went around to see the water bodies, and it was not as destroyed as it is today. When he came back, he himself admitted that Ghana government, the action we were taking was the best action to take. So he took action. There was a result. And in fact, civil society organizations themselves attested to the fact that the
Eventually,
action, the inter-minister,
okay.
you
Hands
came
in air.
because they financed your campaign.
He came to
They
the
financed your campaign.
He was fighting head on.
Thank you.
Seriously.
Take
I'm
your-
ready.
take
They
your
financed your
answer.
campaign.
The frustration was serious.
They financed your campaign.
Frustration was
Allow
serious.
Richard, please.
That's
Yes.
honorable
What I want to
inside
say is that
himself.
as a nation,
He's a
we have
candid
been
man,
overly
like you.
dependent on, foreign commodities, and that affects the dollar. And it's a basic knowledge.
Right.
You don't need to be a professor in economics or something.
Yeah, demand.
What you can do, Bank of Ghana has the data. But George, what some governments did over the years is to bring all the banks.
What NDC did, speak to that.
Allow
what
him,
President
please.
Mohammed
Allow him,
did.
please. What
did he do?
I mean, before the President Mohammed brought in all the banks.
Why is covering on that?
Allow him. We're not being
He
fair.
says what
Please
some
put up their
governments did.
microphones.
What
Allow
NDC
Richard.
did. Proceed.
Richard, go ahead.
I want him to
He should have worn smoke. Today he wore white, and I thought
Richard, go ahead.
I thought because he was sitting close
Richard, go
to me.
ahead, please.
I'm saying that Bank of Ghana has the data. They have the treasury data of all the banks. We don't even need the customers to tell us where our direction is. And if we want to resolve it and make our currency strong, Bank of Ghana is the custodian, not just the custodian, but they have the power to assemble all the banks and say, this thing is not helping our currency.
Has that ever been done?
Yeah, it has been done
did
before.
that?
Oh, that one is between you and
No,
George.
I'm asking you, you are a neutral person. Who did that?
That one is between
No,
you
who
and
did
George.
that?
I'm saying
President
that.
Mohammed did
President
that.
Okay.
Kufuor did the last.
No.
The second.
We'll take a break now. When we return, we'll talk about see something, say something. Is Ghana under imminent terrorist attack? See you after the break.